Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. I am Nurse Grace and today we are diving into an essential topic for all nursing students, the GI system. In this video, we will explore 30 critical NCLEX-style questions that you absolutely need to know to excel in your med-surg nursing exams. So whether you are studying for the NCLEX or just want to reinforce your understanding of GI concept, this quiz is tailored to help you succeed. So right now, grab your pens and papers and let's get started. Please do well to subscribe, like, and share our channel so that we can grow together. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's get started.
Colitis. 2. A nurse is assessing a patient with a diagnosis of peptic ulcer disease. Which symptom is most characteristic of a duodenal ulcer? A. Pain that worsens after meals. B. Pain that is relieved by eating. C. Hematemesis. D. Sudden onset of severe abdominal pain. Correct answer B. Pain that is relieved by eating. Rationale: duodenal ulcers typically cause pain that improves with food intake. 3. Which laboratory finding would the nurse expect in a patient with cholecystitis? A. Decreased liver enzymes. B. Increased bilirubin levels. C. Decreased white blood cell count. D. Increased albumin levels. Correct answer B. Increased bilirubin levels. Rationale: cholecystitis can cause obstruction of bile flow, leading to elevated bilirubin levels. 4. A patient presents with severe abdominal pain and is diagnosed with acute pancreatitis. Which assessment finding would the nurse anticipate? A. Hypotension. B. Increased bowel sounds. C. Abdominal rigidity. D. Positive Murphy's sign. Correct answer C. Abdominal rigidity. Rationale: abdominal rigidity is often present in acute pancreatitis due to inflammation and irritation of the abdominal lining. 5. Which dietary modification should the nurse recommend for a patient with gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD? A. Increase caffeine intake. B. Avoid spicy foods. C. Eat large meals. D. Include citrus fruits. Correct answer B. Avoid spicy foods. Rationale: spicy foods can exacerbate GERD symptoms. 6. A patient with liver cirrhosis is at risk for developing hepatic encephalopathy. Which assessment finding is most indicative of this condition? A. Elevated blood glucose. B. Confusion or altered mental status. C. Jaundice. D. Ascites. Correct answer B. Confusion or altered mental status. Rationale: hepatic encephalopathy results from the accumulation of toxins in the brain due to liver dysfunction, leading to cognitive changes. 7. A nurse is caring for a patient post-appendectomy. Which complication should the nurse monitor for? A. Pulmonary embolism. B. Wound infection. C. Constipation. D. Urinary retention. Correct answer B. Wound infection. Rationale: post-operative patients are at risk for wound infection, especially after abdominal surgery. 8. Which statement by the patient indicates a need for further teaching regarding colorectal cancer screening? A. I will start having screenings at age 45. B. I will have a colonoscopy every 5 years. C. I should only be screened if I have symptoms. D. I will report any changes in my bowel habits. Correct answer C. I should only be screened if I have symptoms. Rationale: colorectal cancer screenings should be done routinely, even in the absence of symptoms. 9. A patient with a new diagnosis of Crohn's disease asks the nurse about dietary changes. What is the best response? A. You can eat anything you want. B. You should follow a low-fiber diet. C. You should avoid all dairy products. D. You need to eat high-fiber foods to promote bowel health. Correct answer B. You should follow a low-fiber diet. Rationale: a low-fiber diet is often recommended during flare-ups to reduce bowel irritation. 10. Which symptom would be most concerning for a nurse in a patient with a possible bowel obstruction? A. Nausea. B. Diarrhea. C. Abdominal distension. D. Hyperactive bowel sounds. Correct answer C. Abdominal distension. Rationale: abdominal distension is a significant indicator of bowel obstruction and may require immediate intervention. 11. A patient with a history of chronic alcoholism is being assessed for potential esophageal varices. Which finding would be most concerning? A. Palpable spleen. B. Dry mucous membranes. C. Heartburn. D. Jaundice. Correct answer: A. Palpable spleen. Rationale: splenomegaly indicates portal hypertension, which can lead to the development of esophageal varices. 12. A nurse is teaching a patient about the management of diverticulitis. Which statement indicates that the patient understands the teaching? A. I can eat nuts and seeds without any issues. B. I should increase my fluid intake and dietary fiber. C. I will avoid all carbohydrates in my diet. D. I should only take pain medications as needed. Correct answer: B. I should increase my fluid intake and dietary fiber. Rationale: increased fiber and fluid intake helps prevent diverticulitis flare-ups. 13. What is the priority nursing intervention for a patient with upper gastrointestinal bleeding? A. Administering pain medication. B. Monitoring vital signs. C. Encouraging oral intake. D. Preparing the patient for discharge. Correct answer: B. Monitoring vital signs. Rationale: monitoring vital signs is critical to assess for signs of shock or significant blood loss. 14. A patient with a history of pancreatitis is being discharged. Which instruction should the nurse provide? A. You can resume a high-fat diet. B. Avoid alcohol consumption. C. Take your medications as needed only. D. Regular exercise is not necessary. Correct answer: B. Avoid alcohol consumption. Rationale: alcohol can trigger pancreatitis and should be avoided. 15. A patient presents with severe diarrhea and dehydration. Which laboratory result would the nurse expect to see? A. Hyperkalemia. B. Hyponatremia. C. Hypercalcemia. D. Hypokalemia. Correct answer: A. Hyperkalemia. Rationale: severe diarrhea can lead to the loss of potassium, resulting in hyperkalemia. 16. A patient with hepatitis A is being discharged. Which statement by the patient indicates a need for further teaching? A. I should wash my hands frequently. B. I can return to work as soon as I feel better. C. I need to avoid sharing food and drinks. D. I must notify my contacts about my illness. Correct answer: B. I can return to work as soon as I feel better. Rationale: hepatitis A is contagious, and the patient should avoid work until cleared by a healthcare provider. 17. The nurse is caring for a patient with peptic ulcer disease. Which medication class should the nurse anticipate administering? A. Antibiotics. B. Antihistamines. C. Proton pump inhibitors. D. Corticosteroids. Correct answer: C. Proton pump inhibitors. Rationale: proton pump inhibitors reduce stomach acid production, promoting healing of ulcers. 18. A patient with chronic liver disease is at risk for developing which of the following? A. Hyperglycemia. B. Hepatorenal syndrome. C. Hyperthyroidism. D. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Correct answer: B. Hepatorenal syndrome. Rationale: hepatorenal syndrome is a serious complication of advanced liver disease. 19. Which of the following is a common sign of inflammatory bowel disease, IBD? A. Weight gain. B. Constipation. C. Abdominal pain with diarrhea. D. Increased appetite. Correct answer: C. Abdominal pain with diarrhea. Rationale: IBD is often characterized by abdominal pain and diarrhea. 20. The nurse is caring for a patient with a colostomy. Which teaching point is most important? A. You can eat any food without restrictions. B. You should change the ostomy bag every day. C. You may experience changes in bowel habits. D. You will need to avoid all fruits and vegetables. Correct answer: C. You may experience changes in bowel habits. Rationale: patients with colostomies may have variations in bowel patterns. 21. A patient is diagnosed with celiac disease. Which dietary change should the nurse recommend? A. Increase protein intake. B. Avoid gluten-containing foods. C. Eat more dairy products. D. Limit fiber intake. Correct answer B. Avoid gluten-containing foods. Rationale: celiac disease requires the elimination of gluten to prevent damage to the intestinal lining. 22. A nurse is caring for a patient with jaundice. Which laboratory test result is most indicative of liver dysfunction? A. Decreased serum albumin. B. Increased white blood cell count. C. Decreased platelet count. D. Increased blood urea nitrogen, BUN. Correct answer A. Decreased serum albumin. Rationale: liver dysfunction can lead to decreased production of albumin. 23. A patient is receiving total parenteral nutrition, TPN. Which complication should the nurse monitor for? A. Hyperkalemia. B. Refeeding syndrome. C. Hypoglycemia. D. Thrombocytopenia. Correct answer B. Refeeding syndrome. Rationale: refeeding syndrome can occur when carbohydrates are reintroduced too quickly after malnutrition. 24. A nurse is monitoring a patient after an endoscopy. Which finding would require immediate intervention? A. Sore throat. B. Fever. C. Mild abdominal discomfort. D. Hypotension. Correct answer laughing face, hypotension. Rationale: hypotension may indicate complications such as perforation or significant bleeding. 25. A patient with a history of gallbladder disease is at risk for which dietary deficiency? A. Vitamin K. B. Vitamin B12. C. Vitamin D. D. Vitamin A. Correct answer A. Vitamin K. Rationale: the gallbladder aids in fat digestion, which is necessary for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, including vitamin K. 26. Which medication is commonly prescribed for a patient with gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD? A. Antacids. B. Laxatives. C. Diuretics. D. Anticoagulants. Correct answer A. Antacids. Rationale: antacids are used to neutralize stomach acid and relieve GERD symptoms. 27. A patient with ulcerative colitis is experiencing a flare-up. Which symptom would the nurse expect? A. Weight gain. B. Diarrhea with blood. C. Constipation. D. Abdominal cramping without diarrhea. Correct answer B. Diarrhea with blood. Rationale: ulcerative colitis is characterized by bloody diarrhea and abdominal cramping. 28. A nurse is teaching a patient with a new diagnosis of lactose intolerance. Which statement indicates a need for further teaching? A. I can have yogurt without issues. B. I should avoid all dairy products. C. I may take lactase supplements when I consume dairy. D. I can try lactose-free milk alternatives. Correct answer B. I should avoid all dairy products. Rationale: many patients with lactose intolerance can tolerate some dairy products, such as yogurt and lactose-free alternatives. 29. A patient diagnosed with diverticulosis is advised to increase fiber in their diet. Which food choice aligns with this recommendation? A. White bread. B. Brown rice. C. Processed meats. D. Cheese. Correct answer B. Brown rice. Rationale: brown rice is high in fiber, which is beneficial for patients with diverticulosis. 30. The nurse is assessing a patient for signs of perforation after a suspected peptic ulcer. Which finding would be most concerning? A. Sudden severe abdominal pain. B. Occasional nausea. C. Mild distension. D. Intermittent diarrhea. Correct answer A. Sudden severe abdominal pain. Rationale: sudden severe abdominal pain is a classic sign of perforation and requires immediate medical attention.
Thank you for joining me today for this NCLEX GI system quiz. I hope these questions have helped you sharpen your knowledge and boost your confidence as you prepare for your exams. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any of our future content. Share your score in the comments below and let me know what topic you would like to see next. Keep studying hard and remember, you've got this. Until next time, take care. Bye. Thank you for joining me today for this NCLEX GI system quiz. I hope these questions have helped you sharpen your knowledge and boost your confidence as you prepare for your exams. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any of our future content. Share your score in the comments below and let me know what topic you would like to see next. Keep studying hard and remember, you've got this. Until next time, take care. Bye.